Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. My name is Marion Ndung'U. If it is your very first time to be here, karibu sana. If you are a returning subscriber, we love you and we appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Today we are talking about how to overcome fear and to live a purpose-filled life. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy. Welcome back to our channel where we are talking about personal growth and empowerment. Today we are talking about how you can overcome fear, how you can conquer it so that you can live your best life. The way you conquer your fear just allows you to express yourself and to open a world full of possibilities. And I'm sure that all of us want to do that. So the first step in overcoming fear is understanding fear. We have talked about fear being a normal human emotion. It is not something that is so complicated. It is the same thing as love. So it is not something that you should be afraid of. Just because it is there does not mean that it should hinder you from achieving greatness. So you need to know, understand it. What is your fear rooting from? Is it because you failed? Is it because of those past failures? Is it something that happened to you in your past, an experience maybe that is causing you to be afraid? I will give an example. When I was starting out in the industry, in the entertainment industry, I originally went to a few of auditions, and I was getting very negative feedback in terms of like I need to do more, I need to work on myself more, I am not ready, I am not this and that and at some point I just stopped going for interviews, for auditions. I'm like, you know what, I'm not going. And it's not because I can't act, it's not because I don't have the skills, because of course there are places I would go, I would do something and people are wowed. It is just that I was going to try something that I wasn't qualified for. Like maybe the scenes I was going to audition for or the characters I was auditioning for, honestly, were not something that I would deliver. So because of the consistent and the constant rejection when I went for auditions, I just got shy. I was like, you know what, I'm never going for auditions, I'm not even acting, I'm shy, I'm not doing that. And I remember for a season and for a long time in that period, I decided, you know what, I really love the industry. I am passionate about the industry. I know I can do something in the industry, but because I am not getting the jobs, or I don't feel qualified, or the people that were auditioning were giving me very negative feedbacks, I decided, you know what, I'm entering the crew side. So at least I'll still be in the entertainment scene, even if I won't be in front of a camera. And it really hindered me, because even when I just began this channel and doing other things, of course, that I have done in front of the camera and in front of people, I was always second guessing myself, because I'm like, you know what, I received negative comments from maybe people who have been in the industry for a long time when they were auditioning me. And of course it really impacted the way I would just go in front of people. I'm just scared every time I go to do, either I am just emceeing, I am ministering, I'm just going to perform and do something. I usually am nervous. I always have a running stomach, and it stems from such things like self-doubt. You're not very sure if you can actually do this, because maybe you yourself, you're telling yourself, I'm not good enough, my voice is not good enough to do radio, so I don't want anything that requires me to speak. If they are focusing more on my voice, then I don't want. Some of you are focused on, I don't like the way my face looks, because now if they're focusing on my face, then I don't want. I would rather go for radio because they're listening to my voice and not my face. I would rather go for TV because they're looking at my face, they're not looking at my voice. I would rather do ABCD. So there's a lot of self-doubt. You feel like you're not, I'm not equipped, I'm not as beautiful as ABCD who has been successful in the industry. And it's true, sometimes they will actually consider people who are looking a particular way and they overshadow others. But as long as you know that you're good at something, then don't allow yourself to cut yourself short because of self-doubt. The other thing again that can hinder us is the fear of unknown. You're not sure what to expect, so of course it scares you. And if you understand what that fear is, then again we go to our second point, which is embracing mindset shift. When you change your mindset and you start seeing things positively, especially for the fear of the unknown, you're like, you know what, it's okay, I don't know, I would rather have tried than just not going because I was as afraid of what they would have told me. So of course there is that aspect of just putting your foot in front, and you think about the consequences later, but at least you will have tried. If it is self-doubt, you're like, you know what, it is okay, maybe I don't believe that I can do it, but let me just take the step and see how it works. Because there are a lot of people who talk about, and the rest was history. They were not really expecting to have a lot of success. They were not expecting to just become who they are now, but they just took the leap of faith and they started, and it worked. So of course you need to change your mindset. You need to replace those negative thoughts with positive ones. You start seeing yourself correctly. You notice your strengths, your capabilities, what can you do. Because if you focus on that and you embrace the fact that you can do it, and then you consider, you know what, I have past successes. What have I been able to do in my past that has really worked? Because it will motivate you again to have that mindset shift and for you to become positive, and of course that also helps you in moving forward. The other thing is taking small steps. As I've said, you start one step at a time. And of course, because you're learning, every time you take a step, you notice, by the way, I have actually done this. Then you take another step and you notice, by the way, this thing is working. And then you're looking at your successes. And every time when we are talking about just motivating yourself and growing yourself, we always talk about rewarding yourself. And when you're taking these small steps and then you congratulate yourself in every step and just acknowledging that, you know what, I have been able to do this. And one thing about just trying and picking yourself up, you need to understand, even if you're not doing 100%, at least you have taken a step. You're the only one who knows that one step for you is a big thing. Everyone else and people who are ahead of you will not see it as successful. They will not see it as good. But because you have done it, for you, it is an achievement. I will say this even as we are speaking. When I started shooting and doing my own thing, I was so scared. I was afraid. I was like, you know what, I'm not very sure if I am creative enough. And once I was given to head a particular group in charge of acting and just shooting and everything, and I was the director and I was also the script writer, and at some point I was also helping I was the producer and I was helping in directing in one of the scenes, because of course I was the writer, so it was easier for me. And then after that I was still doing the editing. Mark you, all these things I saw other people do. What I would do on set is continuity, which I was sure I was good at. And I was put in a place where everyone I'm working with, they're very talented in acting, but they're not very good in these other roles. So while you're teaching them to actually pick up those roles, I found myself doing basically almost all of them. And I was sitting alone and I was telling my husband, you know what, I did not know I would produce. I did not know I would edit. I did not know I would direct, because my director at sometimes would be acting. So I would end up sometimes just taking up the director's role. And then, after that, also there are parts you need to act, because we are few and you're not paying the actors. So of course, because it is something that we're doing for the sake of doing, then again you're just everywhere and you're doing everything. And that really challenged me. When I went for maternity leave and I was alone, I was like, you know what, I didn't know I could do this. But before we actually started shooting, it looked like an impossibility. I was like, how will I be able to manage to do all this? But when I took a step and I just believed in myself, in my strength and all that, and I just took a step and I was like, you know what, I am actually doing even the budgeting. I was just doing everything, even just sorting people lunch, organizing everything. And I thank God, because we were able to do a few short films. Unfortunately, we were not able to post a lot of them, because some of them until today I have not finished editing because of 1, 2 or 3 reasons. And it's not because I didn't want to or I can't do it. It's because, of course, even the storyline and where we were supposed to give them, they don't really match, and a lot of things, really, it is a lot. But again, I am really grateful because it challenged me. Now when I'm sitting sitting here talking to someone, I'm talking to someone who does not believe that they can do it. But you know what, when you start taking that one step at a time, those small steps, you notice that actually you have a lot of potential in you. It's just that you're too scared to even try. You're too scared to even express yourself. And that is one of the things that are hindering you, and fear is clouding you so that you cannot move forward. So you need to overcome. And then while you are taking those small steps, be very consistent. Like right now, when I decided, you know what, I'm just going to do to be regular with my YouTube channel, I'm taking one step at a time. Consistency is becoming difficult, but you know what, because it is something I'm also learning, it is something that I really am trying to do. And when you're trying that, you get out of your comfort zone. Whatever step that you're taking, make sure it is getting you out of your comfort zone. And then while you're starting small, also set achievable goals, how we have always been saying, so that these goals can be achievable and they motivate you to continue doing, because every time you achieve, it is a small victory, but it is a good victory because it will motivate you. Then again, it builds your confidence and it propels you forward, which is a good thing. The other thing also, in terms of just overcoming fear, is seeking support. Who are you surrounding yourself with? What are you listening to? Because the things that you listen to, the people you're listening to, the people that you're giving your ear also affect the way you're doing your things. If you're listening to negative people, they will show you how it is hard for you to actually do something. They will try to show you how taking loans is bad, because you know what, they did that and maybe they mismanaged the money, and they're trying to show you how loans can actually kill you. But there is someone who will sit you down and tell you, I made my money from loans. I started out by taking loans. I am a billionaire, but I am in loans. Why? Because I know how to take that money, I know how to plan for it, and I know how it brings profit and return. So it depends with who you're giving ear. Look for family that is supportive, friends that are positive and are supportive, a spouse that actually supports you and encourages you, because all these people are very important and you need support. Make sure that you also get support even from your online community. For some of us that actually in the online space, you need to make sure that your online community supports you, because they need to encourage you, they need to give you valuable insight, encouragement and accountability, of course, because they keep you accountable depending on what you're trying to achieve and depending on your niche and whatever it is that you're pursuing. So make sure that you surround yourself with positive people. The other thing is embracing failure as growth. We have talked about this in personal growth, we have talked it in motivation, but it is also nice to repeat it even in overcoming fear. When you're talking about just embracing failure, it means that, you know, sometimes when we fail, we are fearful. We're like, you know what, I tried, it failed. Like the way I was talking about when I went for auditions and I failed and I wasn't being given these roles, and it caused me to stop going for auditions. It also at a point challenged me even to a point that I didn't even want to act anymore. Yet it is something I love. It is something that comes easy for me. I don't have to struggle about it. It just works. It's something that I don't really struggle. Of course, there are roles that will take a lot from me, but I feel like, you know what, I can actually do this with just getting people who support you and people who encourage you. Like the boss that had employed me from 2014 to I think 2018 thereabout. He really challenged me to improve myself and to grow myself, because he gave me the platform, he gave me the opportunities, and sometimes even when I felt that I was not giving my best, he would still just give me a role and encourage me and just promote me and just help me to grow myself, which is good, is what we're talking about, surrounding yourself with people who can see something that you yourself do not see in yourself. So of course, embrace this failure. Every stepping stone, every failure is a stepping stone to success. And this is one thing I usually say: when you fail, you learn how not to do something and you learn a new way of doing it, because this way did not work. Then I know that I don't need to go that way, I go left. If right is not working, I go left. If left is working, then that is the kind of line I need to pursue. Remember, every successful person has faced failure along the way. So of course, it's one way of learning. It's one way. Some business people have lost business, and from that they have learned. They have lost money in investments, and from that they have learned something. They have learned who to trust. Maybe when you lost you lost money to maybe a colleague, and because it was was a word of mouth and shaking, then now you know that, you know what, I need contracts. And maybe now these contracts are helping you so that you can become a better person. So you failed at first, but you learned from the failure. You don't shy off and then you decide, you know what, I'm not doing this. So of course, yeah, embrace failure as a stepping stone. The other thing is visualization and positive reinforcements. What are we talking about visualization, and what do we mean? I mean that when you close your eyes every now and then, even during the day, you are thinking about how successful you will be, or how good that success will look on you. Personally, when sometimes I'm just seated down and I'm discouraged because maybe I'm not getting enough views as I would want in my channel, I just look at myself and I'm like, I can't wait when this channel will get to like 1 million subscribers. I just don't want 1,000. No, I just don't want 10,000. No. How much would I feel if I had a million plus subscribers? 400 million. And it motivates me. It's like the fulfillment, the joy, just knowing that when I make a post, I will not just get now that I'm struggling to get 100 views. At that time, I will be struggling with maybe my list would be maybe 100 million, because I have maybe 300 million people just watching my stuff. It is always amazing and it is so encouraging. So when I think about it, it just gives me confidence to face some of the fears that I am facing right now, some of the things that I sit down and I'm like, now, you know, this is one thing that really causes people who are standing in the limelight to be scared. You know, you're putting your life out there. You're putting yourself out there for people to judge you, to criticize you. You know, when someone is listening to you, some of them are just listening to your voice and they're analyzing it. They're listening to the way you're pronouncing words and they're analyzing it. So everything you're doing is basically out there for people to chambua. And most of the time, not everyone has not everyone is positive, not as everyone is for you. So there are people that will really put you down. There are people who will just come to your comment section and write, you know what, you did not do research, you did not do ABCD, I don't like the way you're rolling your eyes. And you're like, well, maybe this video, if I edit, it will like end up with 14 minutes. So have you watched the whole video? So all you're seeing is how my hands maybe are floating everywhere. You did not see anything positive. Did you hear anything that we were talking about overcoming fear? Did you learn something? So all you're seeing is how negative. Maybe some of you will come and analyze her makeup. She's like, I don't like the way she did her eyes. I don't like the way her eyebrows are looking. I don't like that lipstick. It doesn't look good on her. And it's true, there are some of the things that of course we do and they're really not good. But you see, you don't expect that to be the only thing that a whole person watching a video of 15 minutes will notice, you know. And that is one of the fears that maybe personally I have. And you're seated and you're talking and you're like, guy, people will analyze everything that I'm doing. People will be thinking about what I'm saying. People will be looking at my hair. People will be here and there. So of course there is that. People will be analyzing my background, and that is why you're seeing some of us vloggers, we are so mindful maybe of the way we are looking even in front of cameras, instead of enjoying something that usually comes easy for you, fun for you, because you want to share maybe experiences with someone and you're very good at it, but you're so scared because you're like, I fear the way they will judge me. I fear being judged. I fear being criticized. And these are some of the things that really affect you. So visualizing positive things and just having that positive reinforcement, knowing that, you know what, celebrating and reminding yourself that of course with resilience and determination, I can achieve everything that I want. So I am here, I am pushing, I am continuing to do this. You know what? Even if the subscribers do not get where I want, if they don't get the 400 million maybe that I'm envisioning, or the 500 million, and I end up with 10K, and I end up with 100K, you know what? I have gotten somewhere. And I thank God that those will be people that will just love what I do, and they're supportive, and they like, and they actually view the content. They're just not subscribing for the sake of it. They're subscribing because they're getting value in whatever it is that you're doing. And as much as all of them will not watch the video, because of course there's those mathematics and analytics that come with it and all those things, as much as they're subscribed, all of them are not tuning in and they're not watching. So you're like, so why did you subscribe in the first place? But again, you see, there's a lot of that. So you really need to visualize positively. Look at things from the point of I can achieve much if I continue doing this, if I continue practicing what I'm practicing and just practicing consistency and being comfortable and enjoy while doing whatever it is that you're doing. If you love it because you've already started to do it, you know you can achieve it. So continue visualizing positively. The other thing is embracing growth opportunities. Man, how many of us past opportunities, they have come, but you're like, am I sure I can handle this? I have gotten to a place where I have been promoted in the workplace, but sometimes I am very, very cautious because I'm like, I'm not very sure if I want the role. Maybe because it comes with a lot of negativity. People will think that maybe you slept with the boss to get the role, yet you've worked hard. Of course, there are times where you're like, I don't want to act smart than everyone else, so let me just leave it. Let me allow someone else to take the part. And I remember when I was in the marketplace, I am learned. I will not say I am not learned. I am learned and I'm very good. And when I decide to do something, I can actually do it very well. But sometimes I just play it ninacheza chini. Not because I cannot achieve it, but because I feel like I need to just act here. Musidhanie ninawapea kompe sana. That is the kind of person I used to be. I was like, you know what? I need everyone to feel comfortable around me. I don't want people to be saying that maybe I am putting too much effort because I want to kiss the ass of the boss, or because I am trying to get people's positions and all these things that people say. So of course in my mind, I know that I am good at something, but I downplay myself. I will tend to just sleep. I just sit down, and when I'm free, I'm just sleeping, just to act kawaida and act bored with the nini. But the honest truth is I'm really getting a lot of things. I am learning from the behind the scenes. I am just looking, I'm observing, I am learning. I'm learning how not to do and how to do things. And sometimes when you're just seated on your own, you're like, you know what, I can do better. I can do better than all of you, the three of you combined. But because I am in that place where I really do not want to show that I can do it, because maybe sometimes I didn't want to feel like nimepatiwa kazi ya mtu to do, and then I make that person feel bad because I feel like I am taking their job away or something of the sort. So I want to just do that. And I know there are a lot of us, instead of embracing the growth, instead of embracing those opportunities for you to grow yourself, for you to get even more exposed, for you to learn, you're just playing cool. I'm like, and I learned that is fear. I feared being looked like I am actually better, and it's something that I am, which I know I am good. I am very good at learning things. I learn things very fast, but I have always tended to play myself acha niseme tu kucheza mjinga, acting foolish, acting like I don't get, because I'm trying to like fit in with everyone else. Okay, because I learn very fast. I am a fast learner, and I just sometimes just act like I have not understood, but I have actually understood. I'm just acting, and it's bad. So embrace the unknown and trust that you have the ability to adapt and to thrive. And that is the other thing. There are people who actually think that they cannot survive. Maybe where you have already reached, you've worked extra hard. You're not like me who learns things very easily. You have really invested time. You've invested yourself and energy, and you think that, by the way, even me just going to the next level is hard for me. I can't do this. I can't. I will choke, because already even this position that I am in, I have really invested myself, my time and everything. And some of you just feel suffocated by that, because you're like, if I get promotion, that means I need to add more energy, more of myself. I need to really do this, because of course it will take me an arm and a leg. And you feel like, you know what, I don't want the promotion, as much as it comes with maybe some money. And I know that there are people who who get promoted, but the promotion does not even come with monetary increment. You just find that maybe it's the roles that have increased, but the salary is the same. So it depends. Personally, I would say embrace every growth opportunity that comes. As much as it does not have maybe payments, it doesn't have monetary attachments to it, accept it. Because what you're doing is you're increasing your skills and your ability. And the more you're adapting, you thrive, of course, because there's what you're learning. And sometimes the skill you learn in that particular job, as much as it's not paying well, you can use it to apply for another job, a better job that will pay you maybe double or triple what you're getting from your previous job. So when you're getting the opportunity to embrace growth opportunities, do that. Sometimes you just find yourself embracing growth opportunities, and sooner or later you are traveling abroad because you have more skills and you're qualified for a better job outside the country. So of course, embrace those new experiences, seek them out, because they challenge you and they cause you to step out of your comfort zone, which helps you to grow and become better. And what do you want? You want to overcome fear, and that is one way of doing that. The other thing that we need to talk about, even when it comes to just fear, is that when you are your own self-sabotaging person. We first talked about understanding where your fear is coming from, and especially for someone who has self-doubt, the other thing I need you to do, apart from just shifting your mindset, is you believing that you can achieve something. You believing in yourself that, you know what, Marion, I can actually do this. I can actually do this. I can actually be this. And I know that some of you are even fearful to get into marriages because you're like, you know what, I don't think I can really handle a family. But the thing is, you have not given yourself the opportunity to try, and you're missing out on the advantages of marriages, maybe because you're fearful of what you've had out there that is causing you to fear marriages. You know, you're fearful of traveling outside the country because you've had people that have traveled, they're giving you a lot of negativities. When they're talking about going to the UK or to the US, there's a lot of racism, and you don't want to go because you don't want to be criticized. There are those who are talking that when you go to Arab countries, there's the slavery and mistreatment. So you also don't want to go there because you're like, you know what, I don't want to go and be mistreated. When people are talking about going to Somalia, Sudan, you're afraid that, you know what, there's violence and you'll go there and maybe find violence and you'll be killed or whatever all these things are. And for as long as you're forever fearful, you will not branch yourself out, you'll not come out of your comfort zone, and you don't know that whatever you have inside of you will thrive in all these places that you're already fearing and you're causing yourself and you're withdrawing yourself from. So allow yourself to grow, allow yourself to be to nurture whatever it is that is in you. Even if other people have failed in that area, it doesn't mean that you will fail, because for all you know, you might have what it takes to thrive there. So please allow yourself to experience all the things that come with expressing yourself and just avoiding and coming out of these limiting beliefs that are limiting you. So thank you for joining this empowering journey today. I hope that this video has been helpful. If it has been, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share with others so that it can be of help to them on how they can benefit from overcoming fear, because we want them to live their best lives yet. Together, let's support each other to live our best lives. Stay fearless and keep striving for greatness. Bye-bye.